It's too loud. And of course, I
All
left
right,
my
ladies and
headphones.
gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the Vibes Alive Radio Show podcast, and we are joined by the one and only Corey Groove. Corey Groove presents the Irie, the Vera Groove, Danny T, Minia Projects. Welcome, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm doing great. It's good to be here. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good.
Very
Good to
pumped.
have you. Yeah, man. Like lots going on, lots of great things happening with several projects, but I think the emphasis for today is we've got the Saturday sesh rolling out tomorrow morning. We've got the brand new single that Corey Groove presents has just put out, which is called Desert Views. You got DeLa from Slightly Stoopid in the mix, playing flutes and playing horns, saxophone,
Yep.
sorry. And then I mean, what else is going on with Corey Groove Presents? Like, what is this collective that you've put together, and what is this project, and why is it happening? What is going on, man?
Man, Corey Groove Presents is a culmination of myself, Danny T, and my boy Gerhard Kelch. Basically, a couple years ago, while Danny T was on tour and we were working on Danny T stuff, when he was on the road,
Right.
we were like, all right, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I'd love to do an instrumental project, a dub project, even, and put it out just so people can chill and listen to some music and kind of prove it to myself that I can do it. Push myself to get on the keyboard, push myself to get on the guitar, and just it was a thing to bring myself back per se. Just within my own self, being happy. Music does that, and so we started working, and we've been working on it for the last 2 years or so. And it's obviously, it seems like a long time, but got a lot of other stuff going on, and finally was able to get that out. And basically, it's been we spent during COVID is when we started it, and we just spent all that time in the studio working on this. And Danny hit up DeLa, actually, and Danny tours with DeLa in Badfish, and hit him up and showed him the song, and he was down for it. And then he hit us back and was like, hey, can I drop some flute on here? And me personally, I love flute, so I was so pumped. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, yes, please, my goodness. Because at the end of the day, DeLa is the reason why I love horns in music, period. I remember seeing Slightly Stoopid and Flogging Molly, 15 years ago, and
Mhm.
just being like, wow, horns. I love
Yeah.
horns. So actually having one of the people who, inspired my love for horns on this track, this debut track, is just I'm mind blown. He did such an incredible job. I'm whoo.
Yeah. No, that's
But
amazing. I mean, getting to put music out with not only people you respect, but like on that upper echelon of the people that inspire you, right? Like there's such a contrast between the two of those. And I know, like, given any opportunity to collaborate with somebody that I see as a musical influence, especially on a debut type of track, like we're throwing some shots in the dark with some things we're working on with Chris, and we'll see if any of them stick. But it's amazing to see, like, just how that's got to feel, like, just the it's like the icing on the cake, like confidence when you put something out, but then when you put something behind it that you fully believe in to that extent, I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
I
And
won't
the
lie,
song
I was
sounds
nervous. I was like,
amazing.
I can't, I couldn't. As a bass player, it's like I couldn't hide behind a band. It was like, hey, this is me. These are the
Yeah.
songs I've been working on. They bring me great joy. I hope they can do the same for you. So I'm just very pumped. And what you're saying with this song is there are more songs coming. I got a 6-song EP with this Desert Views being one of the tracks on it, and a couple other features of horn players as well. And in the future, the Corey Groove Presents is basically just putting tracks together and collabing with people who want to collab and put some music out. Whether now this first one's instrumental, but
Yeah, I was gonna
maybe
ask
in the
that.
future tracks, I would love to work with some vocalists and put out some Corey Groove Presents with some vocals on it. Um, so yeah, this is just an experiment, a fun time, a way to pass the time during that time, and it's awesome. I'm ecstatic.
As you should be. I mean,
And
I've
with
listened to the track about 3 times now, and I feel like every time I
oh,
listen to
thank
it, what
you.
what I like about it is that every time I've listened to it, I'm finding more and more things to get sucked into. And it's like I
I
love
love
that.
that.
Like there's so many layers. There's a lot happening, and it's not just as and I kind of really appreciate not having lyrics for once, because I'm able to just think of all the different things, and the music takes you where you want to go. You don't necessarily get boxed into the story of the song. I don't know what the story is. I think it changes every time I hear it, at least from my, from my end of it. So I
That's
think
how it's supposed to be. It's up to you to for it to mean whatever it means to you. And
yeah,
that's the beauty of music. And then when you don't have lyrics, you can make up your own story to it, whatever you want. So
right.
I agree with you on the instrumentals. I love it. I'm very heavily influenced by instrumental music, and I listen to a lot of it. Like Lettuce and even 10 Foot Ganja Plant. They go from instrumentals to then featuring singers, and those are massive influences on me and
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
100%. Yeah, and you can hear it, and that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about just Arizona in general.
Hey, Brett, I love you,
What's up,
Little
bro.
Johnny Groove here, live
Farmer
on
Johnny?
Vibes
What's up,
Alive
brother?
radio show.
Hi, dog.
Yeah, yeah. What's up,
I
brother?
stole $1.
Brother. What? You got $1?
Yeah, to
Yeah, you
play
need a
He's
pool.
got a
dollar. We're gonna
dollar
go play some pool.
All right, sorry for interrupting.
You're all good, bro.
for mincemeat sandwiches.
We had it, yeah, and mincemeat sandwiches. We had a little cameo, little Johnny Groove cameo.
Yeah, the Groove Brothers are back out there with the Irie. You guys are in Iowa playing with Earth, Wind, and Fire tomorrow for a festival, and I love that.
Yeah,
I
that's
love that you're
crazy, man. I
jamming.
love that band growing up to that.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was gonna say that's some iconic music happening right there, and to be on that same bill has got to feel like another influential win for Corey Groove. Personally, it's got to be awesome, man.
Absolutely. Like I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire in Chicago probably 15 years ago, and to see that bass player be that age and still move around and be grooving and moving, that's inspirational. So I cannot
Yeah.
wait to see them again. Unfortunately, the lead singer Maurice passed away, and so I was able to see them the last time. But you know what? This is a legacy band. I'm so excited to see, regardless.
So I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot, but it made me think about something. So I imagine 15 years ago when you saw Earth, Wind, and Fire, maybe I'm wrong, but I imagine that you didn't see them and think I'm going to be playing the same festival as them in 15 years.
No,
Um,
truly, I did not.
so
I,
things
I would
like
never in a million years think that.
right. So
That's also like when I'm a major Bad Religion fan, and we got a festival and played with them. So it's kind of like that for me because I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. As a bass player, that bass player is inspiring, just how he moves and how he grooves. He
yeah,
moves and grooves.
100%. Yeah, I mean you have to, right? I mean that's
Yeah,
what was keep punk rock elite. I think it's what Jeff Pliskin from Raise Fist was saying yesterday. You gotta keep punk rock elite, the no effects, but the
yeah.
Bad Religion, the same thing. That tempo, you gotta keep. You gotta be a boss. You gotta own it. But before I get sidetracked, here's what I was thinking. You didn't think you'd play with them. I'm imagining Red Rocks a few months ago was probably a bit of a surprise, just in
Absolutely.
terms of like, holy shit, this is happening. So not to put a limit on it, and not to say you've been thinking about it, but if you had another like, oh shit moment come up, like what do you think that could be at this point? I mean, you're getting a lot of crazy things coming your direction. Like what can we
I
manifest
literally
out there? What
don't
can we
know.
throw out there?
I'm a welcome. I'm open to it. I'm welcome to anything. I literally don't know. I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing and grateful for these experiences because if you asked me 2 months ago if I was playing Red Rocks or anything, I would have been like, "What are you talking about?" I considered myself retired and done with music, but things change. You heal those wounds and then you come back, and that's kind of what's happened. And it has been super surreal for the last couple months. Just the things that have been happening, the bills we've been on, the places that I've been playing with the Irie and even now with Danny T project. We got some stuff coming up there. Uh, we'll be, we're on the Badfish, their fall festival in Ohio, which is a really big one. So I'm very pumped for Danny
Yeah.
T and that project as well that I'm working on. I'm trying to think, man. I literally don't know. I don't know.
I think that's the best part about it. I mean, that's from the authenticity, you know, we've talked about this a few times with other folks, and it's like when you do what you love and you can genuinely love it and you can just be content by doing it, it's amazing all the things that it attracts, you know, like it just, you bring it as you give it, and it's great to see. And it's like, you know, whatever got you to get back out there and to be able to get out and play, I think it's beautiful, because at the end of the day, yes, you've gotten these amazing experiences, but you're getting to fill your cup, and you can see it. I can see it in your smile somewhere behind the twisties. I see that going on up there, and like that's beautiful,
you know,
man.
honestly,
Like
who got
that's
me
what
back
matters.
into it was Lily, my better half, the love of my life. Like, Lily told me, like, hey, you know, why don't you just put out music on your own? Why don't you just do a project? And I was like, no, 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 rah, rah, rah. And I was like that for a while, and she still kept saying it until one day I was like, fine, you know what? I'm gonna go down to the studio with Gerhardt. I'm gonna work on a track, and then it just kind of went from there, you know. And her encouragement is what brought me back, and I cannot thank her enough for always being there through my darkest moments after the Vera Groove, when I felt I had nothing and no one, and I did not know what I was gonna do. That was what I lived and breathed for over half a decade at that point.
Yeah.
But I think I have found myself, and happy with myself and who I am, and just want to continue playing music, and getting it out there. You know, music can heal the mind, body, and soul. You know, it really can, and I feel that way. It has done it to me time and time again.
Yeah, understood. You know, you brought up his name twice, and I think he deserves more recognition than he probably gets. So I want to take a minute and talk about G. Let's talk about Gerhardt. Like,
Gee.
how'd you guys connect? How did this musical fusion happen?
Okay, so I met Gerhardt uh, years back. Johnny wasn't able to perform for the Vera Groove. He had to take some time off, and I was sweating because we had a show, and I put it onto Craigslist. Hey, need a drummer, da 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 da. You know, the whole thing. And he answered, and he came over, and he learned the set in one day and went and crushed it with us. And you know, we remained friends over the time for a while. You know, and as I started the Danny T project with him, I was like, hey, we need to get, you know, we need a drummer. We need somebody, this and that I can vibe off of to work on these grooves that I want to do for you. And I work well with drummers, just in a room, just going at it, you know. And I was like, hey, we need to, maybe we could call Gerhardt, you know. And he's like, all right, call him. And I called him, and he came down, and this man built a studio. Just this guy, he's amazing. He's a great drummer. He's a great friend. He's a great musician, great producer. And this is the kind of the thing is like, as we started working on the Corey Groove Presents, I would leave the studio and then come back, and he'd have all these structures done with what I left. And I was like, that's a song, bro. Like, you want to produce my next project, or like, do you want to produce me? You're a producer. I don't know if you realize it or not. And so that's kind of how that went. And Gerhardt produced the songs for me, you know, with Danny T. But
So big
Gerhardt
shout out to
engineering
Foggy
all of
Road,
these
right?
songs.
Foggy Road Studios is the
Foggy Road
name.
Studios.
Yeah,
Gerhardt
definitely.
is the owner of Foggy Road Studios. I'm so proud of him and happy for him, and building what he's doing, and the clients that he's getting. He working with you with Chris Bowen. I'm so excited to hear what you guys are cooking up in there as well. Chris Bowens is a great
I've
guy.
never experienced such magic, man. I don't even say that loosely.
Right.
The vibe in that room that is created is unbelievable.
A lot
And
of
I've
work has gone into that room to have that vibe, man. I'm so happy
yeah.
you feel that way there.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like the other night, you know, so as a part of like the process recording, Chris has he's very much into the blue lights. He likes the blue lights when he's singing.
Yeah,
But
that's what Danny said.
I decided I wanted red. And they both G and Danny and Chris like, what? I was like, red. I'm like, I'm just feeling the fire tonight, guys. Like, I'm gonna get these keys, get it red. And I was like, it really, like, the atmosphere just brought it all together. But being there with those guys and G and Dan and just Chris, of course, like, has been an amazing experience. So I think that there's a lot of people in Phoenix that I've talked to that are always saying, like, what studio would you go to? Where can you go? What can you do? Foggy Roads, I'm saying it from personal experience. There's no like endorsement that was set up for this. I just want people to know, if you really want to get something done, you want to get done the right way, these guys are genuine, real, authentic, and just don't fuck around in the best way possible. And the creation
Yeah,
process
absolutely,
is
man.
great.
Very
Yeah.
excited for the future of Foggy Roads and what they got going on over there.
Yeah, me too. We got Jesse Duran hanging out. Oh, we got George. Is George spying on you from the bushes? So
I don't know
the
where the hell he is.
the Irie is out and about.
Look, I'm like out back of this restaurant in this wooded area, essentially, having some local cuisine.
Yeah. And so you were talking about this before you came on. It's like sloppy Joe
It's like
without
a
the
sloppy
sauce.
Joe without the sauce in a thing. So it's weird, but it tastes great. But they put ketchup on it, so I guess there is some sauce. It's not sloppy Joe sauce.
That's awesome.
And there was mustard, that I recall, and a pickle. It was delicious though, or I'm just starving. I don't know.
One of the two. One of the two. Well,
one of the two.
I mean, okay, so you're wandering around the parking lot. I don't know how much time we should take from you today, but
Dude,
I do.
I'm chilling. You got all the time in the world. Man,
Okay, good, because I want to make sure people, if they're just joining us now, understand that there's a brand new single that's being dropped. It has dropped. It's called Desert Views. It's got Daniel De La Cruz from Slightly Stoopid. The title is Corey Groove Presents because it is a collective of musicians that Corey has put together, that has participated in. There's a EP coming out soonish. When's that going to be dropping on us?
In the next month. I wish I had a date right
soon.
now. I don't have a date.
That's all right. I like a month is a pretty. That didn't take you too long. Sometimes it's like, well,
No, it's coming out within the next month.
So the cake is baked. It's ready to go. It's ready to come out.
Everything is done, ready to go.
All right. Love it. Love it. Well, I'm excited for that.
Mastered, ready to just needs a date. And I'm working on that now. But I'm very pumped about that as well. So I will let you know the name of that soon.
Okay. Absolutely.
But you may have already seen it.
Is it in the studio? Is it on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think I do know, and I'm not going to say anything. That's cool.
Yep.
Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah. More Foggy Roads shout outs. But if you end up going to Foggy Roads, you can find out early what the name of the EP
That's true.
is.
Right down the wall.
There's some additional inspiration there for you. But yeah, this track, super hypnotic. I love the fact that you can hear all the different pieces. And I was saying the more you listen to it, the more I think you hear in general. And so I encourage everybody to kind of like clean the slate. Like, don't listen to anything before it for like 5 minutes. You know, like man. I think that's what it should be. Like, just walk in, and I mean, granted, you don't have a choice because you should tune into the Saturday Sesh tomorrow. If you're listening now, be damn sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. On the East Coast, you're going to be at 1. It still can get it. You can stream it, kwss.org. You can tell Alexa, play KWSS. Tune in. There's no ads on my show. Tune in will give you some ads, but I don't do that. But we got 1 hour, and toward the tail end of the hour is Desert Views. And so, yeah, you're not going to get to cleanse the palate, so to speak, beforehand. But I think I actually put Chris Bowen vibes pretty close to it. So I tried to, you know.
There we go.
Orchestrate this a little bit.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Oh, of course. It's good to have friends, and it's better to have friends that you can help put on the radio, man. Like, as long as I have the show and as long as I have friends, I'm going to keep playing this shit. So
I'm very grateful. Vibes alive, baby. Woo!
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so we got some
nice
great
Danny
pictures.
T-shirt.
Oh, thank you. We got some great pictures with this guy out at Rising Vibes.
The championship belt.
The belt. I think I might go as far as saying, if I had to narrow it down to 3 favorite pictures from the weekend, you definitely take the cake on one of them.
Oh man, thank you.
For sure.
I thought it was a great
that
picture.
Was like that was a boss picture. It was great. Matt Duran, big shout out to that guy. I hear Jesse's hanging with us. And
the Durans, good people.
Duran, man.
Duran.
The best. And Matt at some point is probably gonna just punch me and take my belt, but for now it's been a friendly match.
That's hilarious.
No, it's great to it's a fun piece to have around for sure. All right, so what's next for the Irie? If you guys are out there now in Iowa, what's happening next?
Tomorrow we'll be playing at Saturday in the Park. It's this festival they've been putting on for like 33 years, and we'll be playing with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then July 14th at home back in Tempe, Arizona, we'll be playing with Stephen Marley, The Hyrie and Arise Roots will be opening that show July 14th at the Marquee. Stephen Marley, Hyrie, Arise Roots, the Irie. And then on the yeah, that's actually it on the block for the oh, you know what? Then there's a 3-day run coming up August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd with Arise Roots in New Mexico and Pueblo, Colorado. Also, next week, I'll be playing with Danny T at Marquee, opening for Fayuca, and I will actually be playing Desert Views live with Danny T. There you go. He's got the tickets right there.
These are tickets for the show. And if you listen tomorrow, we are giving all 4 of these away. So if you want to check out Desert Views and you're listening to this on Facebook or wherever you are listening at this current moment in time, because soon it will be a moment that has passed because this podcast will live on for infamy. But we have 4 tickets to give away courtesy of Danny T. I appreciate you guys doing that. I'm going to be out there. I think I'm going to MC the show. I always say
That'd be awesome.
because I don't want to. I had this thing at Rise. Oh, thank you. At Rise and Vibes, I thought I was going to do it, and I'm not going to name names of the bands because then it'd be more embarrassing. But I thought I was going to like do the whole like end of the. I only thought it because it was on the schedule, and then I got there, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
I'm MCing. What do you mean? What am I doing?
I slowly walked away with my head down. So now I'm always like, yeah, I think I'll be there. I think that's what I'm doing. But I think so. We talked to Jarrett. Jarrett's in. Danny T's in. I'm in. Vibes Alive Radio Show's in. I just cannot wait to celebrate a different kind of music. I mean, that's actually what I focused this week on the radio show. I'm always doing like more reggae stuff. And for sure, there's a few reggae songs in there that I just can't get myself away from. But we're rocking it out this Saturday. And there's a lot of the genre in Arizona and bands, honestly, rock bands, that if I had to pick another area to focus in Phoenix, there's so many great rock bands. And we are spoiled with some really amazing bands that
we got great
I would like to play more
Arizona.
of. Yeah. 100%. So throwing a few things in the mix. Yeah, it's a great place to be from, right? I really do. Yes, I can't help myself. I always say Arizona now. In fact, I'm supposed to not say it if I MC. I say it too much, but it's all right.
That's funny.
Paul Chavez got the tattoo, Arizona. I'm out of real estate, but if I had it, I might.
I'm a clean canvas. I got nothing.
Well, that's like a rarity these days. So
I know, cool. Right?
Yeah.
I've always been afraid of needles, I guess.
It's funny. The older I get, the more I hate getting them. No lies.
Right. They hurt, right?
I'm like, I want one. I really don't. It's a means to an end. It's a means to an end. But man, I thank you so much for taking some time to come and hang out.
Having me on here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Bro. And we can do it again anytime when you're ready to drop that EP. We want to go through it. We want to play some tracks. We can literally load it up and go through them and play them and take as long as we would like to just really focus on it and have a listening party of sorts, if you will.
That would be really awesome.
For you. Yeah,
we'd love to make that happen. Definitely.
Okay, we're gonna do it. So for now, tune into the Vibes Alive Radio Show tomorrow, the Saturday sesh. Check out Desert Views. If you're too excited that you cannot wait, well, I wouldn't blame you. Go to Apple Music, go to Spotify. You can find it. Corey Groove presents Desert Views with Daniel DeLa Cruz, DeLa from Slightly Stoopid, the STOOPID, coming to Arizona's boombox, whatever. Corey Groove presents. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And I look forward to talking to you.
Mad love for you, man. For real. Thank you for all you do for the community. For real.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate you, man. It's good to have people like you out there.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere, man. I'll be here as long as I can.
I like to hear that.
All love. All right, guys. Remember, Corey Groove presents. Thank you, guys. And we'll talk to y'all real soon.
Sounds beautiful. Peace.